ridiculous. That's
We're already
ridiculous.
filming. Oh,
Hi, guys.
hi. Welcome back to Two Tall Stitchers. I don't know if I'll leave that in or not. I probably will. They'll enjoy it.
Oh, dear.
I'm Jennifer, and this is my mom, Carol, and we are happy to be back with you for Flosstube 31. Today is Saturday, December 3rd. It's late in the afternoon, later than we usually film. I went with my kids and husband this morning, and we got a Christmas tree for us and one for her.
Yep.
And then we went out to lunch, and all of a sudden it's 4 o'clock. So you probably won't be seeing this until at least the 4th. But welcome back. Thanks for everybody who's come back to see us again. And thanks for everybody who said, oh, that looks like it might be interesting, and decided to stop by and watch us. Yeah. So
hope you come back.
Yes. If you're new here, we're a mother-daughter team from Indianapolis, Indiana. And we cross-stitch and quilt and knit and crochet and do
have an
a lot
embroidery
together.
machine.
Yeah. Very
we got
crafty.
lots of stuff.
We'll talk mostly about cross-stitch, but we also have some quilting, some knitting, some crochet today. And we're going to celebrate our little quilt along that we have and share what we've done and what others have done. So we're going to start with our quilt of the day, which is yours. So
This
tell
is
us
my
about
quilt
one
of
of
the
your
day.
favorite quilts.
When I moved from Houston, everybody knew that I loved snowmen. And my bee in Houston.
That might be why she moved from Houston to the Midwest, was just for the snow.
So my bee in Houston made me this quilt. And actually they were making it supposedly for the, maybe I knew, but they were making it for the Guild for their show as a raffle quilt, I think. It's been a long time.
They told you some story.
Yeah, and so where's mine?
Yours
this
is
one,
down
that's
here
mine on the bottom.
That's him. This guy.
And then one of my friends made a Girl Scout snow girl for me, and they just did all kinds of snowmen, and it was wonderful.
Let's see,
it was really
if I
exciting.
can get up so they can see the very top of it, because each one is different. And they're
everyone's
so
different,
cute.
and they put it together. I love the assembly with all the trees and everything. You know, it's not just the straight 4 over and 3 down or whatever. And then they have a label that said Farewell Carol Victory, and it has the name of everybody who made a block. Yes. So that's been a wonderful quilt. I love it, and I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
And it's a good time of year to bring it out. Even though we don't have snow today, you're wishing for it every day.
Yes. Well, I saw something today that said they predicted between the 10th and the 14th we're going to have a ton of snow.
Okay.
So I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
I'm going to work every day next week, so that'll be interesting.
Good for you.
Okay. Anyway.
That's why you ski.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Since we were here last, our big exciting activity is that my brother brought his whole family, including the dog, for Thanksgiving, and they stayed here for 4 whole days and
4 nights.
4 nights. And how much did the 3 teenage and young 20s boys eat?
Well, I know I spent at least $400
on
at
food.
least between Costco, Target, Marsh, Meyer, and then my son went to Kroger.
Yeah.
And so I know it was just,
They
amazing.
had a great time.
They did.
One of them fell in love with the spinach artichoke dip in the tub.
He loves that.
From Costco. He ate like half the tub the first night. It was hysterical.
They got here about 11 or 12 o'clock on Tuesday night. They drove after the kids got out of school. So by Wednesday night, the entire container of spinach artichoke was gone. And the great big bag of chips was down to like this much. Yeah. And so on Friday, we did make a panic run to Costco and got 2 more containers of dip and 2 different bags of chips.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but we had a great time.
We had a wonderful time. The kids got along so well. They, Jen and Susan and my daughter-in-law and Jen and I went to a Christmas show. That was kind of disappointing, but that's beside the point. Yeah,
it's still fun to go out.
But we went, and while we did that, Eric took the 4 boys, and they all went climbing, like rock climbing, wall climbing and stuff. And so we got some great pictures of that. They really had a good time.
And then on Saturday, we had some family pictures taken.
Yes, we did.
So maybe we'll insert here a couple of the family pictures, and if we have rock wall pictures.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we'll insert a couple of pictures here. Yeah. But it It's a lot of fun.
Yes, it was. It was great. We really enjoyed it. And the kids got along so well. And
Yeah.
they're all close in age, between 20 and 14. And so they had a good time. And I didn't go upstairs much, but it looked like when they opened their suitcases or backpacks, they just exploded. I mean, there was stuff. I can't believe they got away with everything.
Yeah.
But the best part was the dog was wonderful. She didn't pee in the house once.
She has every other time she's been here.
Usually she
But she
does.
was a sweetie, and you guys enjoyed having
She was
the
wonderful.
pitter-patter of puppy feet around again. So
yeah, I'm really struggling right now.
yeah. We'll find the
I'm
right,
looking.
the right one for
I'm
you
looking.
soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody has a puppy or a
No,
dog?
not a puppy.
No.
At least a 2-year-old.
Yeah, that needs a rehoming, you know about, that's in our area. Let me know.
And she'll drive
And I don't want a little dog.
around the Midwest.
I don't want a little dog. I don't want a yappy little dog. I want a nice big
But
dog.
you like dachshunds.
I would take a dachshund, but I don't want any of these little mixy poo things. They're
Not your type.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So, and I know other
Moving
people
on.
love them, and that's fine.
Yes.
Yes.
Moving on. So we'll jump right into questions, and then we'll hopefully fairly quickly get to our stitching. But our question for you last week
Was overwhelming.
was, well, I said, tell us who your favorite designer is. And then Mom opened it up and said, you can tell us 3. And so usually I have a little list of answers. This time, you guys, I filled up the entire page of
And the
answers. No, the back was our
Yeah.
things from before.
Oh.
So, I'm going to give due credit to everybody who was mentioned, but I'm going to try and do it quickly. So let's start first with the common threads about what you said. You love them all. That's obvious. A lot of you were like, I can't choose, but if I had to, I will. And you did. Several people commented how lucky we are to have such great designers.
Yes,
and I think
agree.
that's so true. And I think it's expanded even more with Etsy and the internet, and you just find out about things so much more than I think you ever did.
Flosstubes, you know, when you watch a Flosstube and somebody says, and I got this pattern from so-and-so, and it's like,
And then all
I
of a
never
sudden
heard of
you
them.
go
and
to their website and then you buy their pattern.
And then you fall down that rabbit hole.
And then somebody else commented, which is I think is very true, is that changes over time. So somebody who they may have loved in the beginning, they still like them, but now somebody else is their first love.
new
Or they
designer
go
comes
through
along, or
phases.
you know.
Yeah.
like
So
with quilting.
I thought we'd start with the top 10.
Oh, okay.
And we'll go from 10 to number 1 for our top 10, like David Letterman used to do. I know he was one of your favorites. Okay,
Oh, yes.
so number 9, newer person on the market, Stitching with the Housewives.
How about number 10?
Number 10, with 9 votes.
God.
Quit peeking. Number 10 was Stitching with the Housewives. I think I've stitched their pieces. Have you
have.
stitched theirs?
No, I haven't
Not
done
yet.
any of theirs.
Okay. Number 9, this is a favorite for both of us with 11 votes. Actually, 8 and 9 were tied with 11 votes. Both of them are favorites of ours. Lizzie Kate and Heart in Hand.
Yep.
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 Love them both. The next 2 were also a tie. So tied for number 6, I think, with 14 votes. Another one of our favorites, Hands On Design. And one that I've never stitched, Teresa Kogut. Have you stitched her? I don't think so.
No, I don't think I
No.
have. I've
Yeah.
seen her. I've seen her stuff
Yeah.
in the store, and I've seen
Yeah.
many people stitch it, but I have not.
Yep. Yep. Number 5 with 15 is a much newer person on the market, Primrose Cottage Stitches.
Oh, yeah.
Which you love, and
Yep.
you've stitched a lot
I
of.
have
I
done their
stitched a
stuff.
little bit of theirs, but
We've
not
done
too
models.
much yet. Yeah. Number 4 with 17 votes is Prairie Schooler, with a lot of nods to their Santa series. So a
okay,
lot
yeah.
of people
A lot
have
of people
Santa
like that.
trees, love the Santa ornaments. I think I've stitched one Prairie Schooler ornament. I think I've actually stitched 2, and one of them is in the pile of things that might never see the light of day because it didn't turn out well when I tried to finish it. Next one, with the next number 2 is also a tie.
Good Lord.
With 18 votes each. We had Blackbird Designs
Very popular.
and Plum Street Samplers. Not surprised by
Yep.
either of those. And you'll see a Plum Street from me today. I've been working on mine. And number 1. Can you guess who number 1 with 23 votes is?
Rosewood Manor.
Nope. Brenda Gervais.
Yeah, okay.
Which is one that isn't high on our list. We
Yeah.
don't generally gravitate towards, she does a lot of, Well, I see samplers. She does smalls and stuff, but I don't think I've
We don't
stitched
do a lot of
anything
samplers.
hers.
We don't really do samplers.
Yeah, so those were the top 10. So now I'm just going to try to quickly run through and tell you everybody else that was mentioned, because I think it's worth the mention.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It'll give you some new names to look up.
Yes. Martina Weber, Mirabilia, Bent Creek, Little House Needleworks, Shannon Christine, Paula Vaughn, Luminous Fiber Arts, Jardin Privé, Liz Matthews, Country Cottage Needleworks, Modern Folk Embroidery, Brenda Keys, Told in a Garden, Cottage Garden Samplings, Jeanette Douglas, Being Drew / Quiltify. That was one I hadn't heard of before. We're going to have to look that up. Lottie Dop, Waxing Moon, Val Stuff, JBW, Margaret Sherry, Artful Offerings, Blue Flower, Carolyn Manning, Silver Creek, Kathy Barrick, Renato Parolin, Scarlet House, Lindy Stitches, Stacy Nash, Paula Stewart, Heartstring Samplery, Rosewood Manor, Shepherd Bush, Jess Nan, Lavender and Lace, Leela's Studio, Barbara Anna, Sam Sarah, Doreen Jones, Ink Circles, Twin Peak Primitives, Hands Across the Sea, Tiny Modernist, Witchy Stitcher, Dana Stitcher, who actually watched us. She said, I like to stitch my own designs.
Okay.
Madame Chantilly, Long Dog Samplers, Sampler Company, Cricket Collection, Al Forest, Veronique and Ginger, and Lori Holt.
And Stacy Nash and Rosewood Manor are the same.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Stacy Nash.
I have to see.
She lives right around here.
No, that wouldn't have pushed them.
No, I don't think it would have changed it, but just so you know, they're both the same.
I did not know that. Yeah. So hopefully you found a new name in there of someone you're going to go look up. Yep. It was so funny when I was doing this because I started writing down and I'm like, at some point I'm like, yeah, I think all my favorites are on here. But then somebody would go, oh, Silver Creek Samplers. I was like, oh, I like them too. Mm-hmm. So did we say our top 3 last time? I don't remember.
We didn't.
I think if we made them say who would be our top 3, we kind of have to do it too. So.
Oh, I like Hands-On Design. I like Primrose Cottage Stitches. I like Silver Creek Samplers. I like Lizzie Kate.
That's more than 3.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I understand the people who said, thank you for making it 3. I could never choose one. And I could do 5 or 6. You know, I have and different times. Sometimes they come. Somebody that I don't normally stitch comes out with a pattern that's like, that's really cute. I have to do that, you know. And so I wouldn't call them my favorite, but I do like their stuff.
Yeah. I would think about, if I think about total over
Ben
time.
Creek is another one I like.
Lizzie Kate would have to be on my list.
Probably.
I love Lizzie Kate.
Yeah.
I always have.
Yep.
I've stitched a lot of Lizzie Kate over time.
So have I. But I've done a lot of Bent Creek.
Yeah, I like
done
Bent Creek
Hands-On
too.
Design. Yeah.
Well, and I would say lately I really like I just saw it and I lost it.
I don't know what you
Ink Circles.
Yeah, Ink Circles. You've
has
done a
some
lot.
very cool stuff. Well, I've only done one.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you were working on another one.
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying not to start one of those till I finish one of my other big ones. So anyway, there's a few of our favorites. Thank you all for giving us this big long list.
If you need any clarification, just drop us a note in the comments and we will be glad
to. Or
to.
go back and look at the comments from our last episode.
Yeah.
Because you'll see what people said there.
And then you can make a long list.
Yeah. All right. So we have 3 questions that came from the last episode. Hi, Sandy. You asked how we stitch with fancy floss. Do we do 1 X at a time or do we go across and back?
We do 1 at a time.
Yeah.
Because of the variegation. It's the over dyes, and if you do it across, you'll lose it.
You'll still get some, but it just won't be as significant.
Noticeable. Yeah.
All right. And Jane asked for me, because I showed one of the pieces of fabric that we dyed, do I put a specific finish on it to make the color stay? No. We followed the dyeing tutorial from Stitching with the Housewives, and you put, I think it was salt in the dye, which helps it set. Yeah. And then you rinse and rinse and rinse and rinse and rinse and rinse and rinse to get the color out before you dry the piece. Yeah. So no, nothing special after you finish the dyeing process.
We need to dye some more again. That was fun. We haven't done that in, what, 2 years now? We gotta
get some fabric and that would be fun.
And Jerry asked, I was wearing my veil sweatshirt and she asked if we ski. I don't any longer. started kind of after my kids were born. So I've never been a strong skier. One time when Eric was probably 5 or 6, we were going down a very easy trail at Winter Park, and he got ahead of me, and the ski patrol guy came over and said, little boy, are you lost? He said, no, I'm waiting for my mom. She's up there somewhere. So
and he's never slowed down.
Oh, no,
He's
he's
yeah.
straight out.
Yeah.
I could use another term, but he just straight down the hill. He and his oldest son, Andrew, they started them skiing. We took them skiing every year when we lived in Houston. That was our escape. It killed me when we get to Winter Park, and it was Texas week, but that's beside the point. But no, we went skiing all the time, and you guys have gone skiing in Michigan. And
we've just skied in Michigan. Yeah, I want to get my kids out to the Rockies. But yes, I enjoy skiing. I am not a crazy skier like my brother, but I really enjoy skiing. I'm a solid like blue black ski run. I can handle either a little bit steeper, no moguls, or a little bit of moguls, not as steep. So.
And Eric is a double black all the way.
Oh,
So is Andrew. Yeah. The two of them.
And the bowls and everything.
Andrew sent me a video last night of him skiing. It was at night.
Yeah.
And I said, are there no lights? He said, oh, we have headlamps. I said, please text me when you get home.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, good.
He said, I'm home safely. And about the sweatshirt, actually, I bought that at Vail when I went out there with my bee. It turned out that 2 of the women in my bee had houses around the corner from each other, and so we went up in at least 2, maybe 3 cars, and we drove up. We carpooled. I flew to Houston and then drove up to Colorado, which made a lot of sense. And they brought me all the cutting tools and rulers and stuff, but I carried my machine and I didn't have a little trolley.
I remember when you got off the plane, you were like, "This is so heavy."
And of course, then you buy fabric along the way. But anyway, we were in Vail, and I bought my Vail sweatshirt then. I didn't buy it when we went. We went there after we got married, and that's when we were having I was having a lesson, and the ski instructor said he'd never seen anybody fall so many times and not get hurt. So I was never a strong skier, but I can cook.
Yes, you can. And when we go skiing, you would usually spend the day knitting or stitching. You'd meet us at lunch, often in the lodge, and then you would make great dinners because we were ravenous after a day of skiing. Good. All right, and our last question was more of a comment. It was from Nettie, and she let Mom know.
Nettie, who's eagle eyes.
Yes,
eagle eyes.
We do appreciate when you guys have eagle eyes.
But we're impressed that you guys
noticed that Mom had missed a few stitches in what she said was a finish last time.
Yeah, well now it's really finished.
Now it's really a finish.
Yeah, I left off. It was right over here. I left off about, hang on. Let's see. Right over here, I left off about 4 or 5 stitches. And darn it, she didn't see it.
Okay, so we're going to hold it up again, Nettie. Make sure it
double
looks
check.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is the pattern. It was from the hands-on design. So, yeah.
Great.
But thank you. I appreciate it greatly. But, God, you're amazing.
I know.
I just was like, how could she see that? We didn't see it, but... Okay.
All right.
So there we go.
You ready to jump in with some stitching?
Yeah.
All right. We both have new starts and some whips.
Yeah.
Are yours all new starts?
Actually, they are.
Okay, then let me show whips since they've seen these before.
Okay.
And they're used to these.
And we had a bunch of chewies today. It was so good.
So my first whip, I stitched a little bit on everything again. This is Weekend in Paris, and this is Dimension Gold Collection Petites, my full coverage piece. It's going to wind up 5 by 7, I think. And this time I worked over here on the lady and in the red. And I took this red down here, over there. And I put in her skin so that it didn't look really weird with just the black of her dress. So I only worked on this a couple of days, I think.
But it's coming
along. I thought I would work on it more, but then I changed my mind and started a new project instead. So that's where this one is. It does not need to be finished for this Christmas, but it will probably become a gift maybe next year.
Another Christmas.
Yeah. And then my second one, you also saw last time. This is Winter Belle Pull by Tiny Modernist. Ooh, maybe I'd put her in my top 3 too. We're going to take more than 3 since, it's our show. And this one was, it was either my Christmas Day start or my New Year's Day start this year. I can't remember back that far. And I'm making good progress. So I think last time you saw it, I was complaining about the border. I had the hearts. I think I had cold hands.
Yes, you did.
But I brought the border down to the bottom of that section, and I started on the, it's going to be Toasty Mugs is the next section. So I was working on that. You can see I even left my needle threaded last night because I thought I would come back to it, and I was working on crochet last night, so I never picked it up again. But this one is moving along, and I decided this week I want to finish it this year.
That's a good thing. There's not that much left.
There's not that much left.
Because the border's almost done. That's the best part.
I have some other bigger ones I want to start. So if I get this one done, I can justify that a little bit better. And then my third one that you guys have seen before is Goody Grimwood by Plum Street Samplers. Big favorite by many of you. This is my first Plum Street to stitch. Although, did you see her newest one with the cardinals? It's 2 or 3 cardinals. It makes a little pillow. It's very cute.
If I saw it,
I think I'm going to have to stitch that one. And so on Thanksgiving, while I watched the Thanksgiving Day Parade, didn't you stitch on Halloween stuff? So I'm trying to remember what I did. Oh, I've worked on this side of the house. And last time you saw it, it just had one line across and it didn't have the 3 windows. So I finished the whole window section and brought it down. And then I got really tired of stitching this color back and forth and back and forth. So I came down and I started to put in the stems and then the first pumpkin. It's funny, it looks very striped to me in the reflection.
Yeah.
But in real life, it looks pretty
striped.
Yeah.
It's very striped.
So maybe I should stitch that up and down instead of side to side. I don't know.
They have it side to side.
Yeah, but
be interesting.
So that's where that one is. This is stitched on 40 count Stars Hollow by, it's the called for. I don't know who the, R&R Reproductions. So yeah, I'm coming along with that. I really like stitching on the 40 count. Just
is that over one?
It's 1 thread over 2 strands.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I really like stitching with 1 thread. It's really nice.
Yeah, I do too.
There's going to be more 40 count in my future. And I think I have a couple 36 counts.
If you hear a crash, it's because she's balancing stuff in my bucket and it's not going to last very long.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, so I think I'll be going for another high count. That one I don't think will be finished for a long time because there's a lot of grass.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of black.
All right, so now we're on to new starts. Those were my 3 whips that I worked on. I touched all my whips. And, well, one of my whips became a finish, so you'll see that in a few minutes.
I must have finished something. But anyway.
The Santa that you were working on for Christmas?
I don't know.
Okay.
I finished something.
Oh.
But anyway, when I went to Stitch Group the other day, I was like, I need something to work on. And I didn't want to take my Mill Hill because I needed to bead, and that's distracting. So I pulled this out because it had all the threads in it. And it's Scatter Freedom, and it's by Shepherd's Bush. And I borrowed it from my friend Nancy because I saw her do it, and it's going to wind up, it'll be framed, and it'll probably go in my half bath. So here it is, and I think I did pretty well. It's stitched on 18 count something or other.
It looks like a fiddler's cloth.
Yeah.
I don't know that you need this. I think it's pretty thick.
Okay. But so this is, so I started Wednesday. Well, I love letters, and it goes really well.
It's cute.
It goes really quick.
That Uncle Sam could almost pass for Santa this time of year.
Yeah, he could.
Hold it up for just
okay.
a minute.
So yeah, that's my Scatter
And what
Freedom.
kind of threads is this done with?
It's done with Classic Colorworks.
Nice.
And 1 sampler thread.
2 strands?
Yeah. 3.
3.
Two threads.
Oh yeah, this is
they call for a 19 count, but this is an 18 count. And so it's two threads over 3 strands.
nice.
And then 1 DMC, which I haven't pulled yet, but I don't need that.
That's pretty.
Yeah.
It looks
So that's
good.
So that's
Yeah.
one.
So you don't have a lot left.
No,
Border.
it went very quickly.
Yeah.
No, I just
Another
have another
star,
star. Yeah,
flag,
it's really
yeah.
quick. It's really,
Nice.
really quick. And then I saw these somewhere, probably online, and I thought they were so cute. And I have the patterns here. They're from the Jabco, the Just Another Button Company. And if you bought the pattern, you would get the, if you bought the button, you would get the pattern for free. So I thought they were really neat, and I really liked the frames, but it turns out the frames are like $30.
Oh my gosh.
And they're small, so they're going to be finished in hoops, which I had hoped to do before today, but just before we filmed, I finished putting them.
So you're up to finish this.
Yeah, I have to finish them,
Yeah,
but they're finished.
I still have whips.
They're
Okay,
finished.
We'll go
Okay.
back. Okay, so we'll show this one first.
Yeah.
And you brought these into the shop and then they sold.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you had
Yeah.
to order more. So there's Mary and Jolly.
Yeah.
They're so cute with those buttons.
Yep, they went really quickly.
Yes.
And then just to show you, it's a small project, and I had this little bag that I made.
Santa's
And
up
that's what
now.
I know, he's drunk. He had a big weekend. And this
Santa's
is a bag
been
I
dipping
made.
into the eggnog.
Yep. I had this bag I made, and it was small enough, so it was really easy to carry him around in there.
Yeah.
So that's,
Nice.
yeah.
Okay. Well, let me show my other new starts because you have another finish.
Yeah.
All right. Next new start. I have had this one in my stash for a long time. This is by Golly Be Jolly by Lizzie Kate. And I think I got this down in the store in Evansville, Stitches from the Heart. And it was kitted with just the fabric, the pattern and the fabric. There might be a button. I can't remember. If there's buttons, the buttons were in the kit too. And I've had this in my stash for so long. And what's funny, and Mom's looking at the back now at the threads that it calls for, I only had like 3 of them checked off, like I own them. And I think that's why I hadn't started it, because I was like, I need to buy more threads. Well, when I went to pull the threads for it, I own them all now. So I've had this for a while.
It calls for weeks, Dye Works.
Yes, and I do Sunday morning stitching, and one Sunday I was like, I just want to start something new.
Yeah.
So I did. So there's the little row of houses, and then there's one little white border below that. They just saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that went really fast.
Yeah, that's
And,
going to be quick.
so now I just need to, I haven't stitched on it since that one day, but I'll be stitching on that over the month. I think it'll go fast until I get to the blue and the red borders, because they're filled in, those snowflakes are filled in all the way. So they'll take a little bit of time, but everything else should go quickly. And it's really fun. And I really love these colors, like the bright pinky, teal Christmas colors.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to see.
Okay, are you still whipping, or?
Yes, I have one more. Other new start. So I think last time or the time before I showed you that I finished my last shop sample. So I started another one, of course. This is my first Cherry Hill Stitchery.
I love their stuff. That's another one to add.
And yes, and I like the way she does her pattern. So I can't show you. However, I will describe it. So this came with 2 sheets. On the back of this one is the pattern in black and white with the thread colors. On the other sheet is the pattern in color with the thread colors.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, that's awesome. I'm going to stitch it in color. Turns out I'm not good looking at color patterns, because I'm used to stitching
black and
white patterns my whole life.
Yeah.
So I just flipped it out.
Yeah.
And it's great. And her patterns they're very clear,
They're very nice,
easy to read, good size. I love that she had the thread colors on both
Yes.
the color and the black and white.
So you're not flipping back and forth.
And she started, I think, as an Etsy shop, and then decided she was going to release some patterns only to shops, so that people had to go or order. So this is going to be a shop sample, and we picked this one. This is on Lugana. I didn't bring my bag, so I think it's either 25, 28, 32 count Lugana. Okay, and I'm going to have you hold this up so they can look at how cute it is while I describe.
But your mother can't hold it up. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm stitching this with DMCs, and this is Weeks Dye Works Whiskey, but I'm stitching this with what's called DMC Floche, and I think I might have showed this when I picked it up. So Floche is a thinner thread than regular DMC cotton, and it's the equivalent of 1.5 strands. So this, like I said, I think it's a 28 or 32 count. I'm using
Looks like 32.
2 strands of Floche. Now I'm thinking about it. No, I'm using
strand.
one strand of Flosh because it's like 1.5.
It looks really
So
good.
for those of you who love to stitch with one strand, this is really pretty thread. It seems to me a little bit shinier than the regular DMC. It comes in the exact same colors as DMC, although it does not come in all DMC colors. So this is 3347. Of the colors I needed for this, I think 3 of them came in the Flosh and the rest did not. So I just took regular DMC for those. So if you look at the stitches that I've done, the black and the green are the Flosh. The gray here and over here is regular DMC. And then the bee, is that beehive?
Beehive.
Is Weeks Whiskey. So I think they all look pretty good together.
Yeah. It's really pretty.
And for those of you who stitch on 28 count, you can stitch with one strand, which is really exciting.
Yeah.
Now, full disclosure, this is not cheap. I don't know exactly what she's charging for it at our local shop, but when I looked it up on the DMC website, it was like $6 or $7 per hank.
But if you get a whole hank, you get a lot.
It's a lot.
We are splitting the hanks.
You are, okay.
Yeah, because it's a lot. Now, is that a whole hank, I think?
I don't know.
No, I don't think it is because it's got this on it. So
anyway, I would say it's significantly more expensive than the 50-cent DMC.
Yeah.
Threads.
75, 70.
Okay. Well, depending on where you get them, right? And if you buy them on sale and stuff.
Yeah.
So if you have to think about it economically. Do you want this? Do you really love stitching with one strand and you want to try that a little bit? Maybe you buy a hank of black and your favorite red and your favorite green so you can do ornaments with it or something like that. I don't think I would buy an entire line of these, but I really like stitching with them. Yeah. They're really nice. Yeah. So that's my other new start. And I'm really enjoying it and it's going fast. So good pattern, good thread. And I think I forgot to say I think the color is lamb's wool.
It looks like it.
Yeah. Loving that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Now on to
I have a finish.
Finishes.
I had started this the last time, the Texas, and I said I think I may make it into a stand-up. I may have Teresa
say
make it
Texas
into a
with a smile.
Yeah. And here is the finished Texas, even with the little longhorn stitched on, sewn on it. So Texas is done, and this is done on 28 count Jobelin China Pearl. So, and it's Hindsight, however they pronounce it.
Hinsight. I think
Hinsight,
that's what Terry said.
Okay, and it comes with the charms, so that part's really nice. Unfortunately, it's very difficult to buy the charms separately, so if you want to make 2 of them, you have to buy 2 patterns. That's the only thing.
Oh, really?
Yep, you can't order the charms separately. I've tried that more than once.
That stinks.
And they're not available. No, she won't sell them separately.
But you know what? I bet there's enough charms around. Somebody could find a similar charm. They could do a Texas flag or a blue bonnet.
But some of them are proportioned to fit.
Yeah.
She gets them to fit the pattern.
Yeah.
Because I have quite a few of hers I've done.
You have.
Yeah, I've done a lot of hers. I have a snowman one. I think you've seen that.
Yeah.
And so all those are kind of a proportion to fit in her thing.
In whatever the pattern is.
That would be nice if you could just buy an extra set of charms. I mean, I'd pay almost as much as the pattern just to get the charms.
Yeah.
But
it looks good though.
Yeah.
So how do you think you're going to finish it? You think you'll frame it?
Maybe a stand-up. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
That'd be nice.
We'll see. Haven't quite gotten that far yet.
Is that going to be a gift this year?
We'll see.
Okay.
Maybe a birthday present for next year.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
All right.
And then I had one other finish I was working on, and I don't have the pattern. It's around here somewhere, but the JBW.
I'm not going to mess with that pile.
No,
everything's going to go.
No.
And I don't.
It's the alphabet in a round, and this is for some friends, and I'm going to put it in that joy frame, which I had intended to pull out, but I didn't. But I'll take a picture of it when I finish it, and we'll show it.
And we saw the joy frame at
it's still available at
Hobby Lobby.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we'll
bring it back because you have to say you stitched that over one, right? On something.
Yeah. I stitched over one.
It's like a Jobelin.
It's like a mystery fabric or something. But and what I've done is I've stitched it, and the other ones I've done, I put the initial of the recipient in green.
and DMC or Fancy Floss? It looks a little variegated.
I think it's variegated. It's
at least the red is.
I may have used my color in cotton that I got.
Oh,
I think I did.
nice.
I think I did. I actually broke down and used it.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it and I thought, you buy this floss and
Didn't
you like it.
Didn't you use that for your Mary and Jolly too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Nice.
I did. So I've used it for 3 projects now.
Excellent.
Shocking.
All right, and I have 2 finishes. Like I told you, this for my Sunday morning stitching, I've been wanting to start new things. So 3 weeks in a row, I've started with new things. We'll see. I don't know if I will tomorrow. But I bought this little kit at the store in Columbus.
Right.
Yeah, we'll remember the name and put it in the show notes.
Stitching from the Heart or something.
We'll look it up.
Yeah.
We'll look it up.
Okay.
And they had these little bagged up, they are ornament kits from the Just Cross Stitch. And they came with everything you need except the pattern. And so it came with a little backing fabric, and it came with garnet, and it came with the linen, and it told you that you could stitch it over 1 or over 2. And this is on 30 count light khaki from Weeks Dye Works. And this is from the 2010 Just Cross Stitch, and it's a JBW design. And this is French Country Star. And the only change I made is that I did not stitch the word star below it, because I thought it was pretty obvious
Self-explanatory.
what it was. Yeah. And it was so fun. I stitched probably 80% of it in the morning on a Sunday, and I finished it up that evening.
I love to do JBW stuff.
Yeah,
It's so
and
pretty.
the little reindeer and the angels and the stars and the trees. I mean, it was so fun. Each little motif, you're like, ooh, another one. Ooh,
Yeah.
another one.
Yeah.
So
They kind of pop out at you. You don't realize it
they
at first.
do.
And when you're like, oh, there's a little deer.
yeah, there was one, as I looked at the pattern, I'm like, I don't know what that's going to be. And then I started stitching it. And I was like, oh, I think it's an angel. I think so. This one? I don't know. But,
Looks like a bill to me.
oh, maybe it's a bell.
It's a bill.
Oh, okay. Anyway.
She only had Coke for lunch.
It was fun. So I'm going to look through, because Judy put designs in those for many years, I think.
Yes,
so
she
I'm going to
did.
look through and
Yes,
maybe
she did.
stitch a few more, and
Yeah,
maybe I can find more of the same linen and finish
Yeah.
several of them
that would be neat.
with the same thread and same
Yeah.
linen. So
Yeah.
it was very fun. Thank you, Judy, if you're watching, for a great design. And again, that was in the 2010.
All your designs are great, by the way. You're another one of our favorites.
Yeah. I haven't stitched much of hers. I think you've stitched.
I have.
You've stitched
I
a lot
have,
more
yeah.
than I know you've stitched. This was, again, 2010, Just Cross Stitch ornament issue. And if for some reason you weren't stitching in 2010, or you didn't get the ornament issues, I'm sure you can still find them on Just Cross Stitch's website. But you can probably also purchase the CD. So I actually won the CD that was 20 years of the magazine.
Oh, wow.
And so I have all 20 issues, the first 20 years, on a CD, and I just printed out that page. So,
Oh, that's a good idea.
yeah, yeah.
I do believe I have all 20 issues in
You do.
paper.
They're all right down
Yeah,
there.
they're-
Yeah.
I have a lot.
And then my second finish, I am very proud of. It's the Crabapple Hill Autumn Sampler. And I bought this one also many, many years ago. And then I was a little bit in over my head. And 2 years ago, when we went to retreat, I bought what I needed for this. And I did the drawing of the pattern on.
Was
was
that when we were in
Michigan.
Michigan? Yeah, we weren't on retreat. We were,
Well, then we went to retreat.
yeah, but
So
went to Michigan first.
I finally stitched it, and I finally finished it, and I'm so happy with
Gorgeous.
how it turned
So
out.
pretty.
So I'm gonna bring it up close so you can see that word autumn that's Adobe by Weeks Dye Works, and I'm going to show you in a minute the difference between
Sampler thread is
no,
Oh,
no, because I started with sampler thread Adobe because I thought they'll be about the same. They're not the same at all. And this one I think is just gorgeous. And then right here, I had to cut little pieces of yellow wool and stitch around them. And then over here, I cut little pieces of green wool to make the leaves. And over here, I cut little pieces of red wool to make the rosebuds. And I just absolutely love it. So I'll probably finish it into a pillow. Not anytime in the very near future, but I'm really, really happy with how it turned out. And now I'm ready to do another embroidery project. So,
and we got all the wool at that shop in Bel Air, Michigan, and one of you knows exactly what we were talking about. And was it your friend or your cousin? Somebody owned that shop.
Used to own the shop, co-own the shop.
Yeah, and we love that shop.
Yes.
And we need to go back because I had a really nice little wine glass from Michigan, and I was cleaning up the kitchen last night and it broke.
And you broke it.
So I told Jennifer we have to go back. So maybe she's off a couple days this month. Maybe we'll just drive up there to get the wine glass
for a night.
Yep.
Okay. So this is what I wanted to show you because I was like, oh, I have one Adobe. I'll probably just use that. These are the two different Adobes between Sampler Thread and Weeks. And they're both very pretty colors, but clearly totally different.
And there's no guarantee. They're not meant to be the same.
No.
They have common names, but they're not. Yeah. That doesn't mean they're the same color.
Yeah, it was a learning for me. And then I think the next step on this is, where's my big wool? This wool is going to be my border piece. So you do little scallops around the
Show
edge.
it on the picture.
Yeah. So scallops around the edge. So that's my wool for the scallops. So someday I will get to that.
And it's so pretty. Oh my gosh, it's nice.
And I'm going to leave these out because some of these are yours.
Oh, okay.
Some of the threads I borrowed from her 2 years ago.
So that's why I can't find them. Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's my Adobe because
no,
maybe not.
It doesn't have your initials.
Because my cross stitch thing said I had it, and I looked through my stuff and I couldn't find it. So interesting. Okay.
So those are my finishes.
Okay.
Very fun.
And then, as we are wont to do when we finish filming,
I have an FFO.
Oh my Lord.
I told them I would last time. I sent you a picture, but you haven't seen it in real. So earlier this year, we joined Helen in the Berry Sal. We were kind of hosting it, but then we just joined Helen because she was really hosting it, and she was giving tips and videos, and she stitched a lot of berries. So I stitched the berry from Stitch All the Things. Absolutely love it. I plan to stitch the pillow. Such a fun piece. And I finished my berry. So there it is. Stitch All the Things.
That's cute.
And Helen, you're gonna have to tell me what I did wrong because my topper is too big, I think, because it
and mine was too small.
Because it has these lumps in it, or I didn't cut it well. But I took out, because I had it out for my autumn embroidery, my Left-Handers Embroiderer Companion, which is a great book.
I'm not left-handed, so I don't know.
Yeah, I took it out and I did embroidery on the top. So there's my little embroidery.
Oh, how cute.
Yeah.
My goodness.
So I cut that little circle and the leaf, and then I put the flower button, which came with the pattern on it.
How cute.
And there's my little berry. And this one, your berry turned out like as big as your hand.
Yeah.
So my berry turned out
she did a smaller
two-thirds of my hand. Yeah. So it was super fun. I'm so glad I tried
need this top and you need mine.
That's true. Maybe we should switch.
We should just switch them.
But what I would say is, if you're going to put a berry together, I highly recommend it. It's fun. Watch Helen's videos. They're great. And especially when it came to doing the topper, I would have stitched each piece on separately, except when I watched her video, she said, do your whole topper with the buttons and everything, and then attach it, which totally made sense.
Yeah.
So, except for my ruffly berry top, I think this turned out great. And I don't even mind the ruffly top so much. It's kind of cute. So, that's my FFO.
Huh.
Okay.
Okay, before I was so rudely interrupted, as we are as we often do when we finish filming, we talk about stuff and then we head off to Hobby Lobby or Michael's to see where we can spend some more money, or the Target dollar spot and everything. So we did that last time. Yes. And we
well, and I had an express purpose to get something to finish my last shop model, which I did get, which isn't yet finished, and it's home. It got spray painted, so I need to sand it now.
Okay. But before we went to Hobby Lobby, I saw these on, where was it? I mean, a Missouri Star, but they were showing them, and they're pins for finishing.
I think Helen showed them.
Maybe, oh, that's it. Helen showed them. So they had Christmas, and they had
Thanksgiving,
like fall, colors. Yeah. Oh, I guess they're kind of this way, so you see the red side. And so, being the wonderful mom that I am, I ordered 2 sets.
Yes. Yes.
So
they're so cool.
Yeah.
So now I think we have to stitch Christmas berries to use these.
We have to do something.
Yes.
To use them. We got to use them. We got to use them.
Yeah.
And then when we went to Hobby Lobby the last time, I make the project bags. And so Jennifer found these in the Christmas stuff, but I haven't figured out how I'm going to quite attach them yet. But these are little pulls, and there's snowmen, which,
so cute.
I mean, we couldn't pass that up. And then these are pretty too, and they'll go not just for Christmas, they'll work for others. Yeah. They're little leather. So I have those to figure out how to attach without making the rings too big. And then we both...
No, you got those. I had those.
Okay, I got 2 of these. And it's a frame, so you can put a piece inside it. So
yeah.
they were on
used
sale.
A couple of those to finish things, and they're fantastic for just a little piece.
Okay, they were on sale, so we got them.
And then we both bought
this one.
Yeah. And this just has a little bit of that edging on it, so I think a piece will fit in here nicely, maybe even painted. I don't know. Yeah. We'll see. But it just looked like a great size for a small finish.
And they were all on sale. So,
yeah.
And then, as I walk through the store, I need the backing so that they can see the whole thing. I saw him, and he was just too cute. See, he's a... whatever.
He's a snowman.
He's a snowman. So I have him hanging on the wall going upstairs.
Yes.
And I think he's adorable.
And I also got some mini cone and berry pieces for Christmas finishing. I thought those were pretty. And then I got this napkin holder. I thought this would be nice for a finish too, because again, there's kind of a little lip there, so a finish could sit right on the top here, or it could sit on this side, or it could pop out at the top. It probably won't do that.
Yeah,
sit on it. But I thought this was a nice piece too, and not necessarily holiday specific.
Right,
yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then today, after we left lunch, there's a neat store very close to Chewy's called Tangerine. And so from the left-hand lane, she said, oh, let's go to Tangerine at the red light, and we made a right turn. Thank God.
Safely
she was
made a right turn.
Yes.
I used my turn signal.
That's right.
And there was
cut
nobody
across 2
behind
lanes.
us.
Yeah. But anyway, we both got some cute stuff in there for presents and everything. But I saw this and I just had to buy it. It's a coaster. Yeah. But it's really cute. It was really cute, and I was like, I gotta have it. So
it would be neat if you put your dog's tags, ID tags, just sitting in that.
Oh, that would be a good idea. Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, I have them.
And then the other thing, and I know you got something too, but it's probably not real close. When my brother and his family were here, we decided to do Christmas last week.
Oh, yeah.
And so we both got Christmas presents from them.
Okay. It's around here somewhere.
Okay, we'll find it.
Yeah.
And so they gave me Emma Congdon's Cross Stitch for the Soul. And I am very excited about this one. It has some fantastic patterns in it. I think either they or you gave me one of her other books for my birthday this year. So now I have a big collection of Emma Congdon things, and I really like them, and I want to stitch them all. So.
And that's another stitcher she'd probably put on her list.
Yes. Oh, here's the table of contents, so you can see.
She shows everything. Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, there's so many good ones in here.
And that's something, if you're looking for something like that, what does the book cost? It's not horrendously expensive. It's
$17.
$17.
Nope, $25.
$25. But even
if you're in the UK, it's £17.
But if you're looking for multiple patterns or something for 25
$25.
For $25, you pay 8 to 10 to 15 for
For a
a
single
single pattern,
pattern.
or maybe 2. So a book like this is worth it
It's worth every penny.
because there's a lot in there. How many
Yeah.
are there? Did she say?
Well, should we count real quick?
2, 4, 6,
20.
8. Yeah, 20.
20 patterns.
So that's like
Yeah.
$1.25 each, or
Yeah.
$1.10. That's great.
That's
so
a great deal.
even if you do three or 4 of them, you're
Even
ahead of the
if
game.
you just look at them
Yeah.
for a long time before you stitch any
If
of
you
them.
hug it, yes,
You
hold
hug
it and love it and love it. And they gave me a quilt kit, which I moved yesterday when I was sewing, and so it's somewhere.
Okay.
It's somewhere. But
All right.
yeah.
We'll show it next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do we want to talk about what's next? Quilting. You want to do your quilting?
Why don't we do knitting and crochet,
Okay,
and then we'll do
okay.
quilting.
Okay. Don't faint, but I finished one sock. I have this one finished. I don't know if you can see that it's sparkly. I love it. And I started the second one, and I have this much done of it. So yeah, how's that for surprising? So
Do
yeah.
you know what the yarn is?
No,
Okay.
no. I've had it. I have quite a
A
collection.
little bit of sock yarn.
A lot. I have enough to make socks for probably
Everybody.
50 people.
All of you.
Yeah, let me know if you want socks. I can't guarantee on speed, but boy.
Okay. And then last time I showed you, I started a crochet project, the
gonna
hexagon
be great.
pillow. Let me get the picture out. It's called Hexagon Flower Pillow by Linda Perman, Permann. And it looks like her website is lindamade.com. And I got this from Craftsy back in the day, a long time ago. And I finished my pillow topper. So it has not been blocked.
It's really not a
And
bra.
said
It just looks like it.
it would need aggressive blocking, and it is true. So here, gosh, it does look like, oh my gosh. Okay, this is not a lewd episode, despite Santa drinking. Okay, so
We
here
pour it a
it
little bit,
is.
maybe it'll flatten out.
Yeah, so
There.
it said to soak it for 20 minutes, but that's the
Good luck with that.
the front or the back of the pillow. We'll see whichever
Really
one turns
pretty.
out
Gosh, you got that
better.
done quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I started this week the second one, and I had it to the end of the 9th row this morning when I realized I made a mistake, and I got to pull out to the 3rd row. So this is 4 rows because I redid one, and then we went to get our
And right
treat.
now that's for somebody with tiny boobs. So
This one for you, this one for me.
that's really pretty though. That's going to be so nice.
I really like it, and I like the color. It's
Wait to
such a
see.
pretty,
Oh, the colors.
pretty
It's
green.
variegated.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
flattened out. Boy.
I know. You're
Ooh.
going to have to help me with the aggressive blocking.
Yeah.
It said soak it for 20 minutes
Yeah.
before you try and block it. So,
Yeah. It
yes,
needs to be
so
wet,
I'm
wet.
very excited.
That's great.
And my goal is to finish the other one before the end of the year. So
Yeah.
that, now, I won't finish the pillow this year.
No.
But at least I'll get that.
Hopefully we can get it started to block,
Yeah,
because that's going to take a while.
that's gonna
If
take a
you
while.
soak it that long, it's going to take a while to dry,
yeah,
and then you
Yeah.
can finish it in January.
yes.
Yeah.
All right,
That's good.
good.
Now
All
your
right.
quilt.
Should we go on
You
to
have a
quilting?
quilt? Yeah.
I have 2 quilts that I finished.
Oh, yeah,
You've seen them both. Where did you put your quilt?
I don't know.
Do we need to pause and come back in a
Oh, it's
second?
right on the ironing board.
Okay, well, let's pause.
Yeah. Hang on. We're back. And guess what I found? This is the kit that I got from Eric and Susan for Christmas. It's called Holly Berry Tree Farm Mini, and it's from Simple Stitches Fabric Shop, which I love. I've got several of their things. I think I've shown you a few. And what's really neat is it came as a whole kit. So it's got the backing and all the pieces for the flying geese and
There's the panel.
everything.
Yeah.
And then it came with the cupcake recipe mix, which is a little booklet, and it has the patterns,
The papers.
the papers to make all those flying geese.
Yeah.
So that's kind of neat. I'm looking forward to that because making flying geese by themselves sucks. And then they always stick in a little extra. So this one came with a cute little piece of just seasonal. It's probably a fat 8.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Cute.
it was cute. And that was my Christmas present, which I really like. So one more project for me to make. Yeah. Okay.
And I've
Not a
been
problem.
quilting like crazy. I finished 2 quilts and I bound them both
Ooh.
since our last floss tube. So the first one is the lattice baby quilt.
That's so cute.
And this
like the border on
one,
it.
I found a piece, I think this is Cafe
Yes.
fabric in my stash, and I thought these bright cheery colors were perfect to go with this quilt. And maybe, can you hold it up there and I can show most of it? Yeah.
There it goes. Yeah.
There it is.
You
And
just
then
did it
I
all
found a nice purple to bind it with. And of course, that's the worst corner. Let's show the best corner. Okay, there we go. A nice purple. And I did all over loops. Super simple for a baby quilt. And then I put fabric on to make a label just here on the corner. And I'll write on that for the baby and then just stitch that down. So that's an easy way to put a label on. Yeah. And you only have to stitch one side down. So that will go to my work colleague who had a baby girl in September as a little bit belated baby gift.
Yeah,
but
it's still nice.
Yeah, but it'll be good come winter.
Yeah.
And then the second one is Wind Drifter. And
which we've all done.
Yes. So over the past couple of months, I think we started in September, gather your fabrics, and then we built our quilts at retreat. And maybe as we talk, we'll pop in a few pictures. Oh, I forgot the pattern. But the pattern is by Robin Pickens.
It's right over there. If you
and it's called Wind Drifter. Let me grab it. Keep going.
Yep. And many people joined us on this. My bee did, and we have pictures of all their quilt tops. And it's amazing how, to me, when you do it in different colors, how neat they look. And you'll see when I had 6, I think, from bee.
I think so. Yeah.
And so you'll see all their different colors. Somebody did it in kind of like soft colors, soft pastel, and then Jennifer's is in Halloween fabric, and mine is very much like what's on the pattern. And we had some great. And I know several of you have. I think, did Janie send us
Janie sent us a picture, and I think Sue posted on Instagram, and I think there's 1 or 2 more on Instagram. I know Cindy started hers. She is doing some re-sewing at the moment. And there's probably a couple others. So once we show ours, then we'll pop in pictures of all the others. So I'll start with mine, and the hanging sleeve is not stitched down, so that's what's going on back here. And there is, can you pull it back just a little bit? There is my Wind Drifter, and this is made with a combination of fabrics that were in my stash and new fabrics that I bought. The background is a Teresa Kogut piece, and I custom quilted this. So I wanted to do something in those arrows. So they have kind of wavy lines pointing towards the arrow in each one. And then some big loops on the edges, and some loop-de-loops in the flying geese. So this was super fun. I had a great time quilting it. It went together really quickly, and I really like it. I entertained green as the binding, but I decided to go with the same as the background, because then it really didn't take away from the quilt.
Yeah, you don't want to take away from the quilt.
It just complemented it. So I know someone who hopefully will make me a label. Yes. And then I'll stitch down my
after someone
sleeve.
Hopefully quilts it. Mine.
Yes, I'll be happy to quilt yours. So this was really fun.
Yeah,
and it's going to be fun to hang up in
October.
The fall/Halloween season. Because even though mine has some Halloween prints, it's not super duper
it's
Halloween.
Very subtle.
Yeah, it'll go for the full fall.
Yep, it will.
All right, and you finished your top.
This morning, I finished my top. So there's mine. And I'm not quite as delighted with it, but I think it's okay. If you don't hold it up real close, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, so we'll hold it.
And if you see any mistakes, don't tell me. So
And yours was made from a kit.
Yeah. Well, he had a fat quarter pack.
Yes.
And so, but I had the backing at Not Your Average Quilter, Ovation over in Brownsburg.
Yeah. And so you had these lovely blues and greens and teals.
When I saw it, I just said, I have to have it. I have to make it, because those are my colors.
And we both made the smaller size of the quilt, so it makes
I think just about everybody did.
32 inches square.
It's 32 3/4 by 32 3/4.
I don't think mine was
Maybe.
3/4. I think mine was closer to 32.
I'm not measuring mine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. And I will use the white that I used for the background for the border.
Let's see if it'll show up
I don't know if it'll show, but it's a white on white.
It's a white on white.
Out of my stash.
There, it
Is
shows a little
up?
bit there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Hopefully you guys can see that.
Yeah.
Very fun. So
yeah.
it was very fun. Thank you to those who joined along, and we will put some pictures in here of
Do another one of these, but not right away.
yeah.
I'm still working on that king
We'll
size
see.
quilt.
Yeah.
I gotta get that done. So
Okay. We have a couple of giveaways. So on the last episode, I said I was going to pass the stash with the Heart and Hand Pocket Round Crow. And we had, I think I put 444, but I don't think there were that many comments.
No.
I think maybe 44 comments.
yeah.
And our winner for this one is Julia.Adams. And so, Julia, if this is you, please send us your mailing address at twotallstitchers@gmail.com and confirm for us that you're over 18. We think you are, because we think most of our viewers are. And I will just drop this in the mail to you in an envelope. There are beads in it, so I'll put a little bit of batting behind them. But I'll drop that in the mail to you.
Yes.
And
then from our 4,000 subscribers giveaway, when we had 4,000 subscribers, we had one that was not claimed, so we're going to redraw. It's the Mary Engelbright Chair of Bowleys.
this is a book
it's a
with these
pattern.
6 patterns.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the Key to Happiness, which is also a Mary Engelbright. So those two we will give away again, and we drew a name, and it's Mona Ortego.
Yes.
So Mona, if you are watching, please, again, go to twotallstitchers@gmail.com. Our address is in the drop-down box below. And send us your address, and I will get them off you. Yeah.
Great.
So.
Okay. I think we're about to the end. We'll have a question in a minute, but what are your plans over the next few weeks?
Oh, I'm going to finish that quilt.
Finish the quilt.
I have some project bags I need to make.
Yeah.
And then now that I have a front tree lying on my front porch, a Christmas tree.
Christmas tree.
I have that to do, and just get the house decorated for Christmas. We didn't do much while they were here. I thought we would, but it was just too chaotic to pull everything out because it would have been in the middle of the walking area, and there's a limit.
Yeah.
There's a limit. But we had a great time with the kids. It was so good to have everybody together. We just hadn't all been together in probably 5 or 6 years.
At least 5 years, we decided.
Yeah. And so the kids have grown so much, and they all got along well. That was the best part. There was no sniping, you know.
Well, the siblings sniped with each other a few times, but the cousins didn't snipe with each other.
Yeah.
But that's to be expected.
Yeah. But they had a good time. And,
but my brother and I didn't snipe with each other.
That was
except once.
shocking.
Once
that was shocking. Yeah, I was surprised.
Surprising. Yeah.
And I only yelled at one of them a couple of times, but we won't get into that. He's a little raucous at times. But we did have fun. Oh, and then one night I got to babysit.
Yes.
Jen and Mike and Susan and Eric went to a pub, and I stayed home and I watched the 20-year-old, the 2 17-year-olds, the 15-year-old, and the 14-year-old. I drank a lot of wine. But we played poetry for malcontents.
For Neanderthals.
For Neanderthals. That was a fantastic game. If you are a game family or you have someone who is, that was so much fun. Gosh, we had a blast with that.
Yes.
And as they left, Jennifer said to them, please don't break Grant's glasses. So I'll let you pursue that and find out why. Yeah. But they're still here, so I'm okay. Yeah. And then we played cards, and we just had a wonderful time. Yeah. And then we called Colin's girlfriend and FaceTimed with her. But no, it was great. We really had fun with the kids. It was so good to see them. And, you know, I FaceTime with them a little bit and everything, but it's not the same as having them physically here. The only kicker was that my oldest grandson had a flight back to Colorado at 5:40 a.m. on Sunday morning. And his mom said,
but you didn't have to take him.
I was just to say, my daughter-in-law said, but I'm taking him. I said, well, that's good.
Yeah.
And so she did. And then they left about 6 and they got home right about 5:30.
Yeah.
And so it's about an 11-hour drive.
Yeah.
So they did well with the dog. And we just had a really good time.
Yeah,
It was so nice to have everybody together. And had a lot of food and a lot of beer. Oh, you got to take that beer home.
Oh,
Mike.
okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
Leftover beer.
Yeah, I'll take it.
So,
all right. My
that's
plans
fun.
for the next couple of weeks, wrapping up things at work. So I have 2 more weeks of work and 1 day, and then I'm off for the rest of the year. And there's a lot to do in those 2.5 weeks. So it will be a very busy time at work, and also getting in things like some holiday lunches. And then I will be off for the holidays. So I'm looking forward to doing some quilting, some stitching. I'd like to get it. Well, I have 2 more Christmas presents to finish. And then I'd like to get 1 more of my quilting UFOs done before the end of the year. So, so that I at least bring that list down. I think I finished 5 or 6 so far this year.
And then the one other thing that I did make a bag for my daughter-in-law. And she's got it. So I did take a picture of it.
Okay, so
we'll insert that too.
Yeah.
I did get that done. I was impressed. And
Yeah,
it went
it
very
was
quickly.
really nice.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
Good.
And I got a couple things embroidered, and I made a key ring for Colin's girlfriend, and he thought it was sick. I don't know if any of you, I'm sure you all have teenagers and you've heard it, but he was like, oh, Grandma, this is sick. And I was like, okay, good. I'm glad. Don't throw up in my sewing room. And he walked in and he said, wow, this is like a real place. I said, yes. He said, oh, my birthday's coming up. I could ask for a quilt. I said, we'll see.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. But no, we had a good time.
Yeah.
Had a good
And then
time.
we'll probably try and do a few things over the holidays while I'm off. And
Celebrate my birthday.
I think we'll be back on Christmas Eve.
Oh, hopefully.
That's the next time we're scheduled. We might, who knows, we might film a couple days early because I'll be off that week.
Right.
Or we might film on that day. We usually don't do a ton of things on Christmas Eve, and we're usually done with our shopping, even if everybody else isn't.
Not wrapping, but shopping.
Yeah. So, so we'll be back once right before or at Christmas, and look forward to seeing you all then. So let's finish up. Do you want to ask them our question for the episode?
Okay. Our question this time is, what size projects do you like to work on most? Small ones that you finish quickly, or like the Heaven and Earth designs that are full coverage and they're like,
300,000 stitches.
Yeah, and 10 pages and all that kind of stuff. Not my thing. And so tell us what size project is your favorite, or kind of a medium, or do you like something like, to me, this would go very quickly because it's mostly letters, and I love letters.
Yeah.
And, well, you can see from my Scatter Freedom how quickly it's gone.
Yeah.
And so let us know.
Tell us what size projects you enjoy the most.
And if for some reason we don't make it back on Christmas Eve, we want to wish you happy holidays, Merry Christmas,
Happy Hanukkah,
and other holidays that we are not super familiar with, but we know that many religions and many people celebrate different holidays over this time of year.
Yeah.
So we wish you good health and good cheer. And with that, we say thank you for coming, and please come back.
Bye.
Bye.